The way that schools' lessons are presented can have a profound impact on how a student learns, right? And how they carry those lessons with them later in life.
So in New York City, students are getting a recalibration of sorts on how they learn about African American history. It's part of a brand new K through 12 curriculum, and that's responsible for its first Black History Month celebration. The program is being profiled in the latest episode of Pix 11 Community Closeup.
And our James Ford.
I decided to focus on Rosa Parks. It must be acknowledged because that's very important and very courageous of her to do that and start something like a boycott.
Here in 5th grade, students have researched figures and issues in Black history, and on Fridays, parents are invited in as well.
It's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing.
And while the 125-year-old Black national anthem is a vital part of U.S. history, these 3rd graders are adding to the historical songbook.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And our James Ford visited that school to get a first-hand look at how things are going for the latest episode of Community Close-Up with Jay Dow. So he's joining us this morning. What a story, James. Great to have you here.
Yeah, and we were both sort of we were all three kind of marveling during that. That little boy wrote that song. So that's part. So the story is about the Black Studies curriculum that New York City public schools are adopting. That is the Ralph Bunche School in Harlem.
Okay.
A phenomenal place. And as you saw there, I mean, it's a very ethnically diverse school. And the idea is to point out that African American history is American history that affects everyone of all ethnicities. And that's how the approach is. The whole curriculum was decades in the making and now is being rolled out for all of New York City public schools.
What specifically is different, though, about how they're teaching Black history?
Sure. There is more of a focus on people of color, especially when you note that the overwhelming majority of students in New York City public schools are people of color. The idea is to be equitable and inclusive from that perspective, since it applies so well to the students who are there.
So that curriculum is in that school, but did I hear you correctly? It's now expanding to citywide?
Citywide, yeah.
So they adopted the program.
Right, so this was one of the pilot schools for the program, and looking at its success will be then applied much more broadly.
Okay. Well, it is February, Black History Month. I loved seeing the programs they had, but I also loved seeing that parents were involved. Is that new, or is that something they always did?
The Ralph Bunche School every Friday has parents come in. And so this was a Friday when we shot the piece. And they have incorporated parental involvement in the curriculum. It all works really holistically. One other thing, I mean, you saw two things in there, right? Kids performing the Black National Anthem, a wide variety of kids performing the Black National Anthem. And then as part of the curriculum to incorporate music and writing and history, they had the kids write their own mini anthems. And so that's what you heard that young man sing there.
He's really
the
good.
anthem he wrote with his mother.
Yeah, not only a talented writer, but he could sing.
Yes, that kid's got a great voice.
Yeah?
I know you two sing also, so you know when you say that kid can sing, he can sing.
So do you. I mean, that's amazing, and it seems like a no-brainer. It also seems like they're meeting kind of students where they're at and getting their creative juices flowing and not just presenting history in the typical way of sitting in a chair and watching a teacher give a lecture. This is really a holistic, all-encompassing, hands-on approach.
Indeed, and it's well worth pointing out, it's not like other ethnic groups, it's still history, right? It's still English. It's still the whole thing. I mean, it's not like anyone's being ignored by any means. They're just trying to ensure that a perspective from people of color is included.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Great
And we'll have a
story.
lot more on Community Close-Up this evening with Jay Dow. And I want to thank Jay for asking me to do that piece as part of his show.
And we're so happy to have you here And so
What a
we're
treat.
happy about that too, right?
What a treat.
I'm happy about it. Thanks for having me.
We always like when you make a guest appearance, James.
The pleasure's mine.
And you can find out more about what they're doing over at PS 125 tonight, like James said, on Community Close-Up with Jay Dow. It airs 5:30 p.m., everybody, right here on Pixel.